What are going to be the limits for your map? It's going to create like an area in which the players are when the players try to lift from this area, the players are going to be killed and are going to send to spawn point. So with this, you're going to be sure that the players are not going to exit from the playable area. For this, we are going to actually take 20 minutes more apart from the recap. Then we are going to start by learning plugins. We are going to learn how to create interactive items, and that are going to be starting by the easy way, and then we are going to learn some advanced things. Remember in my map, in the map that we create as an example for you guys to know how you can create a school simulator, we have like an item that allows you to create a paper plane. We are going to learn how to do that, and we are going to learn some cool things about it. Then we are going to learn how to play with blocks, some basic things about advanced edition in blocks, and also some interactive blocks. Finally, this is going to be the most important part of the class, because I want you guys to start have like these pro tools that let you edit like a pro. And what we are going to do with this is that we are going to create some advanced plugins by using the game files, okay? So for this part, for the last part, is going to be a little bit heavy part in our knowledge, but I hope, guys, that you can actually apply this for the future and create advanced items. Once more, this is going to be the class number 5. We left only apart from this class, and our class tomorrow, it's going to, in that one, we are going to just set up some NPC settings. We are going to learn how to create stores, how to create interactions, and also some advanced things about the artificial intelligence for your actually mobs, okay? We are going to start by creating some specific plugins, okay? So there is 2 ways that you can create a plugin, or there are actually multiple ways. You can create actually custom plugins just for your map. You will need to just hit right here where it says, or where you can have like this icon on the tools that are in orange at the right side of your map. You are going to see this icon that looks like a piece of paper with an arrow on it. If you hit on that one, you are going to hit the full screen interaction for creating different items inside the game, okay? So right here, you are going to see 2 different things also. So you can edit from here, and this specific button, the one that you can find in your map, is only going to edit the plugins for your map. Also, you will have these specific features. So in the top of the screen, where you can see all your maps, correct, there is going to be one yellow button here on the top, in the top, yes. And on there, you can hit the pure plugin library. On there, you can find all the plugins that you have for your game. So as you see, as I create a lot of plugins, I have a lot of items here, a lot of creatures, a lot of different things. And with this, the cool thing about this is that you can set up some basic like plugins that you can add to any map, okay? So we are going to start right here. We are going to start by just explaining how this UI works, so you will be able to understand everything. I know, guys, that some of you already know that part, but I just want to be sure that everyone in the class can see this information. So in here you have like the different kinds or categories or setups or divisions for the plugins that you create. Very quickly explanation: blocks, it's self-explanatory, it's going to be the blocks. Creatures works for all the mobs that you are going to place. It doesn't matter if it's monsters or animals or bosses, you can edit it from here. Props are going to be all the objects that you can use in game, like swords, weapons, equipment, some ammo or projectiles. Those are going to be here. On recipes, you can have like the craftable items, so you can choose how you can craft a specific item with some specific objects. Smeltings means how you can create those specific items by smelting or putting those into an oven inside the game. Storyline is to create some interactions inside the game, and status are going to be the different buffs that you can get in game, okay? So to start this class, we are going to just create something very simple and something very easy, guys, okay? So to be able to create this, what we are going to do is start by creating some plugins, but for objects. We are going to create an object, and that will allow you to jump. It's not going to push the player, it's going to allow you to jump by yourself a little bit fast in front of you, okay? So for this, just hit on new. Once you are in new, you are going to have two options. So this class is going to be focusing a little bit on scripts. Let me explain the difference. Edit means that you can take an original item and you can change the settings on it. As an example, you can edit the warrants, you can change the actual projectiles that goes fires when you use it. You can change the statistics or the stats for each one of the different items. You can change some food and you can change some equipment. As an example, you can change the model only for the wings. But for this one, what you are going to do is to create. Create allows you to create a plugin from zero, not a like basic configuration plugin. So you are going to hit on create, and on there you are going to get that screen. Probably you are going to get less items than I have, than the one that I have here. So you are going to just hit on the plus icon right here, then the one that is in blue, and it's going to show you this new screen. So very quick and very important, guys, you have like different options here. So let me explain why one by one, so you are going to have all the information. The most common one is going to be misc. Misc means that this item is not going to do actually nothing. It's like an item that you can have on your screen, that you can have by your end or by yourself, and you can actually use as a coin or just as an information, or as an example, you can set up a key here, but the item by itself is not going to do anything. Tools, by the other way, means that you can have an item that can have a second option. As an example, you can have an axe, you can have a sword, also you can have a shovel, and the setups are going to be like the levels. If it's going to have like some usage that is going to damage the item, if it's going to be more effective, it's going to have a level tool, and some of these you are going to be able to actually change the attack value, the damage value. The second one is going to be bows. So bows and weapons are going to be separated in MiniWord. Okay, so with a bow, you need to have an arrow, or you need to have like the ammunition that this bow uses, so that's very important. So this one is only going to work for bows. The second one is going to be ammo projectile. So this projectile can be fired by misc items, by bows, and by firearms. Okay, so that's very important. With this you can create explosions, you can create arrows, you can create bullets, you can create meteors, you can create any kind of things that can be fired and can shoot from distance to other players. In firearms, it's going to be cool because you are going to have like, as an example, you are going to have most of the guns. You can set up a bazooka, a sniper, a machine gun, and yep, you are going to be able to set up the ammo amount, the magazine's amount, the speed of the bullets, how many bullets is going to have the player, also the weight, so the player is going to be move slower if he has a big gun. The 5161 is going to be the food. The food is just like self-explanatory, something that you can eat to heal yourself. It only has two options: to heal your hunger bar or to heal your actually life bar. And the third one is going to be a lucky bag. So how it works, a lucky bag. A lucky bag is something that you can open and get random items or get like a lot of items, okay? All right, for the codes, it left a little bit, hello. So yeah, it's going to take a little bit. It's around going to be at the end of the class that you can get like the codes, okay? So for the bag, guys, remember that you can place random items on it, okay? And finally, we have the equipment. The equipment will allow you to set up, like, as an example, an armor, a chest, a helmet. You can change the model, you can choose where it's going to be located, so it's very cool also, and it's going to allow you to modify the statistics for the players, and also to add some cool effects, okay? So for creating this, the item that I'm going to show you to do, we are going to use misc. As misc is not going to do anything, we are not going to change damage. The player is not going to be able to fire something with this, so it's the perfect item, okay? So as an example, you can choose a custom name for it. You can choose as an example, Impulse. And now you can set up a description. You just put whatever you want. In my case, it's going to be jump higher. Okay, we are going to choose the model for this one. And I'm going to use the jetpack model. Now, on this part, you are going to see the different tabs for the different setups of your plugins. That's also going to work for the blocks and for everything else, okay? So we are going to use the attribute here. We are going to choose one. I just want the player to have one. If the player gets another, it's not going to be in the same stack. It's going to be in a different one. And we are not going to touch this, but let me explain how it works. If you set up the advanced physics, what it's going to do is going to allow the item works like it's a physical item. So you can push it, you can throw it, you can do a lot of things with it. My recommendation is only use this for like items that you are going to actually need it. Don't use it like for any kind of item because it's going to lag a little bit your game. It's going to make your game work slower. So just use it carefully when you actually need it. But the important thing is we are going to move to skills, and in skills we can do some different setups for this impulse system. If you add or you hit on new skill, new item skill, you're going to see this screen, okay? I'm going to explain this also because it's very important for you guys. React block means that you can change, remove, or replace blocks. Attack means that you can do a damage. Power strike is going to push the players far away. Buff is going to give to the target a buff. Summon creature is self-explanatory. With this you can create some mobs. Heal is going to just heal the player. And this is very important, guys. If you want to heal in an area, it's probably you are going to get some errors because you can heal with this dead players. So you can like reborn players, like revive players, and that's not going to be cool when you are in some kind of games. And finally, we have shot projectiles. So also you can do some items that can shoot some specific items if you don't want to use the normal one, okay? So for this one, the fire guns and the bows, okay? For this one, what you're going to do is a player that jumps, okay? Imagine that this is your screen saying from the bottom, we want the player to jump and fall, okay? So just hit on power strike. And this is tricky, okay? So because with this, you can do two things. First, make the player jump, or second, make the player push other players, okay? So knockback is going to be the distance that the player is going to move. So that means I'm going to push the player back like 45 blocks. 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks. And this is going to be how like the altitude or the height that the player is going to be pushed. So if I push as an example, let's do a 10 blocks. That means that it's going to jump 10 blocks with this, okay? So let me show you the example, okay? So we have also, let me show you this example later because I just want you to actually understand this part before adding into the game. Skill type, we have two options, target point and no target. Most of the times when you are creating a game, it's going to be easy to use no target. With that, you can create just a closer thing that is closer to your character. We also have the charge mode, guys, and how the charge mode is going to work. So the charge mode is if you need to hold the button and how many times you are going to hold it and how it's going to work. So we have some options here. No charge mode means that as soon as you hit on it, it's going to be used. Cast after charge means that if you stop the charge, the complete amount of time to charge the item, to load the item, it's not going to work. So you can still hold in, and if you left just like a millisecond, it's not going to load. It's going to charge or work only after you fully charge this. Actually that the one that I explained is max charge only. The cast after charge means that your item is going to have the skills after the amount of time that you actually hold it. So as an example, if you full amount of time that you are going to add a buff to your player is going to be 20 seconds. With this, you can set up that if the player only hold it for 10 seconds, it's going to have the half of the effects. And if it only holds it like for a quarter of the time, it's going to have only the quarter of the effect, okay? And finally, autocast after max charge is going to be different from max charge only because it's going to actually run by itself. So with max charge only, that means that if you still hold in, even after it's fully charged, it's going to only cast the skill, only going to cast the spell that we are adding when you just left or when you release the button of charging. but with autocast after max charge. It means that as soon as it completes the full amount, it's going to load the skill and it's going to execute it. So for this one, as we want a fast thing, and most of the times what I do for make the players having like an easy interface is going to be non-charge mode, okay? The cooldown is the amount of time that your item is going to be completely off before you can use it again. So as this example, we are going to place it just in 5 seconds, okay? Now, target, you can choose if this specific skill that you are going to add applies to your team, to a different team, or to both of them, okay? So imagine that we are going to do like a Nova skill. In that case, we can use different teams, so it's going to push all the players. But as I'm going to use this item for myself, I want myself to jump, I'm going to use same team. And that means that it's going to execute in the same team that I'm working from. Now, range type. Range type means that you can have like different options. You can have single target, that means that only it's going to work in you or in the closer target if it's an enemy target. Pin means that it's going to be everything that is in front of you. You can choose like, imagine that you are using a Kamehameha and it's going to just damage the players that are in front of you, okay? You can choose actually the size of the Kamehameha, and also you can choose the distance that is going to work. An area is like everything that is around you, including the health, okay? So for this, I'm going to choose single target, as I only want to jump by myself. And finally, here we have some options. Consume means if you are going to use as an example some ammo, in which case you will need to have some items to use this item, as an example arrows to shoot the bow. Hunger level is just going to be your hunger bar, and durability is going to be the amount of time that you can use this item. If you actually keep it in hunger level and you keep it in 0, it's not going to do anything. It's an item that you can use all the time, okay? So save and return. Right now this item is not in our map, okay? But it's right here, okay? So how we can add it into our map? Just hit your map, hit the plugin editor here. Let's add that item just by hitting add and search for your item. Yeah, it's right here, Impulse. And let's see how it works inside the game, and also let me check your comments. Let's play, let's move to play game. And I'm going to put this item on my inventory and let me show you. As you see, right now, we are doing a jumping skill. So if you see in the screen, on the top right corner, you are also going to see this specific bar, where you can see this specific item that is going to be this one, or this specific menu that is the one that looks like a, once again, like a file, just a piece of paper with an arrow on it. You hit on that one, and in props you are going to see the impulse system, okay? So, very quickly we are going to change this. Now I will be able to show you guys the difference. So as you see, we only move like the distance. Now we want the player to move also in the front of itself, okay? So if we change this, we can decide like the values that are going to be negative are going to make the player jump backwards, and the values that are positive are going to make the player jump in front of him. So as an example, we are going to move 10 blocks, okay? We are just going to save, and let me show the difference now. And now I'm not going to only move or jump, I'm going to move also forward. So yes, as you see, I also move forward, okay? What you can do with this is that you can make a flying system, okay? How you are going to do the flying system? Imagine that you are going to just change this cooldown to 0. That means that the player is not going to have cooldown. And you are going to reduce this a little bit to make the player jump. But let's do it. So as you see, I only place in 2 and 2. I'm going to enter to the game again. I'm going to play. You're going to see that now I can fly because I can use it all the time. Of course, this is not going to be the best way to fly into mini world, but as you see, in less than 5 minutes, we have a flying system. So, if you play some of my games, at the beginning I was using this system. And I'm going to show you how you can create a Do Me item, okay? So for those that didn't know how a Do Me item works, a Do Me item is something that is just going to execute something that actually doesn't do anything, just show the effects to the players. So the players will be, or you as a game developer, will be able to develop actually a code that will complete that execution. With this, you can do advanced items because, as an example, you can do like a player creating some copies of it and get some extra buffs on it, and you can change the model, and you can do a lot of things just with one item. Because as you see right here, I'm only able to add one item to it, one skill to the item. Okay. First, guys, you need to create a new status. Okay. So go ahead and in this part, just select status, select ads, and once more you are going to select just the plus symbol at the end that says new. When you hit on new, you are going to hit on create. Okay, guys? In create, you are going to hit the plus symbol now, and you are going to do the next thing. You are going to create a new skill that is going to be do me item. Okay? And what is going to do me item? Do me item is going to provide, as an example, not effect, like literally it's not going to do anything, but it's going to allow you to detect the item into the plugins. Description, don't place anything on it, just keep it empty. On here, you can choose whatever you want. I personally try to choose the icon that looks like a poof, so I'm not going to get confused. You don't need any special effects. And yeah, just keep it like that. As you see, there's no like any change on here. You are not going to add an event. It's just like an empty status is just going to be to detect the item. Okay, that once again you are in game, you are going to add this to your item. So just edit your item, hit on skills, delete the actual skill that we create, and we are going to select buff. Okay, buff, it's going to have an interaction that allows you to, if you hit an edit, you are going to see like how you can add a buff, all the settings for it. And here you can choose like the different buffs. As an example, you can make an item that heals the player, that increases the speed, that provides night vision, that increases the defense, whatever you want. For this, we are going to use the do me item. Okay. In the do me item, we are going to select the duration. It's going to be just 1 second. The rate is going to be 100. The type of damage, just keep it in melee, the damage 0. The skill, as you see, it's just the same interface, almost all the interface is going to be the same after this part. So skill type is going to be no target, that means that we cannot use it, just by 1 second. The charge mode is going to be no charge mode. We can select like 2 seconds in the amount of cooldown. Target is going to be yourself, so select same team. On range type, select single target, and we are done. It's actually not going to do anything right now, but this will allow us to set up some basic things about this specific item. As an example, create some effect and also create some jump for it. Okay, so some players into Discord were asking me how you can create a double jump system. For this, you can use this. Okay, and let me show very quickly how we are going to do. We're going to access right now on the top to your developer tools. The developer tools are going to be like the map that has a pencil on it, and you are going to hit with triggers. We are going to create a trigger for this one. Now that you have it as an interactive item, so just to let you know, yeah, we are going to select an event to add specific skills to this item. And we are going to select player, we are going to select use a prop. That means that when the player is going to detect or use the prop, it's going to run this code. The condition is going to be, of course, the item that we are going to use. So we are going to select determine item type, and we are going to choose item. For this, just keep it like it is, just select the red part and select template library. Once more, we need to select our item. The custom items are going to be at the end, so just scroll down and select custom, and select the item that we just create. Okay. Now that we have the impulse item here, we are going to create the action. So for make the players move, we have some specific actions. So we need to search for that one. Okay. So let me see. Respond, change player toggle, obtain effect, change team, change location, change facing angle, try a vehicle, change the view, make the player do an emoticon, make the player move towards this direction. So Guys, once more, I know that a lot of you are coming from Vietnam, from Korea, from Russia. Probably you are going to have a different name on your language, so check your language, okay? In my case, in English, it's going to say make player move towards direction. And we are going to move the player towards a direction. So we have some options here. It will allow us to choose which direction. Above, below, left, right, front. So we are going to move back, okay? The speed is the amount of blocks that we can move. We are going to choose 2, okay? Now we have like the lateral or the horizontal part of the speed. Now we are going to also make the player move upwards, okay? So just select again the same thing. We are going to make player move in some direction, and we are going to select above. That means that it's going to jump a little bit. We are going to select 1 of speed, and we have right now the movement. Now, as we want to have more options here, we also are going to provide some extra tools for the player, some extra buffs, okay? So, for this, we are going to add also an effect. So we are going to select obtain an effect. We are going to change the status. So remember, just hit the red part, select template library, and in template, you are going to have all the different effects, okay? So first one, we are going to choose to add some speed to the player. So when the player just faces the ground, it's going to have a speed increase. We are going to give the player 2 seconds. So remember here, just here hits 1 second. This needs to be remains on false. And we are going to also actually add another buff to the player, okay? It's just to show you that you can create a lot of things with this dummy buff because you can add a setup for it. So the new effect is going to be something different, okay? So for the new effect, we are going to actually, let's change the player, and the player is going to be a shift. So as an example, you can change the model, okay? You're going to give also 3 seconds of shaped part. And right now we have like a custom skill with more effects, okay? So let me switch to third player screen so you will be able to see the screen. Okay, so yeah, that's my player, okay? Let me show you. I hope it works because sometimes I made some mistakes on triggers, but check this. As you see, it's jumping back, it's having a speed increased, and also it's going to change the model. Okay, once more, let me show you the effect. Okay, as you see, we learned how to do an advanced item. The only thing that you need to do is to change the shape for another model that we learned that also in the previous class. Okay, this one is going to use also the same system, and what it's going to do is to change the model of the player and create some mobs around the player. So let me show the example. As you see, the player is going to look like he's confusing the other players because the other players are not going to know which one is one. But as you see, it's just the same system. It's providing a status and it's creating some mobs, and we can use just the same. When you select to be a teacher in the class, in the school simulator, we have 2 items that we need to complete to have fully implemented our system. That was something that I promised to teach you, and you are going to see that it's very simple. So in the school simulator map, the teacher is going to have 2 items. The first one is to award a player that is going to be just by hitting the player with the heart. The player is going to receive an extra award when the class finished. But when you hit a player with the ruler, it's going to send the player to the detection room, and it's going to keep the player inside of the detection room for a while, okay? For at least some minutes until the player actually get this effect, so the player cannot exit from here, okay? So let me show you. We are going to move back here to the plugin editor, and we are going to create 2 extra status, okay guys? What are going to be the extra status that we have here? We are going to create one for the punishment and one for the award, okay? So just hit a new plugin. We are going to create a new status, and we are going to start with the punish one, okay? So select punish players, or you are punished. So hit the actual description for it. So the description is going to be, you can't you can exit from the discipline room while you are punished, okay? Select the icon for it. So it's, remember, this is like the visuals for your effect or for your buff. So select the item or the icon for it, sorry. I use this one because it has like the chains around the player, so the player is going to understand that it's a bad buff. Remember, all the color in red for the players are going to be that is a bad buff. So try to select a red one. The special effect, you can choose whatever you want. I prefer to use the chains, so the player will be sure that actually is punished. Is this one. And the sound effect is going to be the effect that the player receives when he's punished. So select mark and select something like, as you hear, the player is going to notice like he's punished. So that one is going to work for me. Also, if you want to add some colors, I add the color red on here. So if you hit a hashtag or pound then the letter R, you are going to have like a red color. Let me show you an example here. You're not going to see in the title when you are just editing your map, but you are going to see it in game. So as an example, I'm going to place here red, and as you see, it changed to red color, okay? So for the effect, what you are going to select is nothing. This is just, once again, a dummy buff. It's not going to do anything because everything we are going to do it with setups. The attribute, it needs to be negative, okay? The only thing that you are going to change here is negative. And save. Now that we have our new buff created, just add it into the game. Just select the check mark over it and then select add. Now that we have already this, we are going to create the other buff, that is the aware buff, okay? So you are going to scroll down, select as a new buff, create, select again the plus symbol, and you're going to have this interface again. So select your or our student, okay? And you are going to select the description. You are the best student until now. Now select a color for it, okay guys? So remember, red is going to be negative. Now the color green is going to be positive. So I use this one that looks like something that is going to be better. And it's going to be a positive way. It's like a player that is stronger. So to select the best award, you can choose this one. Also, you have more options here. So as an example, if you can place the crown, it's going to work also. It's going to look like the player is the best. Now for the special effect, I use something that looks like the player has been promoted. Okay, let's use this one for now, okay? And the sound, remember to select mark and just choose something that sounds good, that sounds like a reward for the players. As an example, you can choose this one. And for the color, you can choose a green color. For choose a green color, just use hashtag or pound and use the letter G in uppercase. And with that, you are going to have this part in green, okay? So as an example here, you're going to see that I have green color here. Now for the effect and everything, we are going to just keep it like it is. Now we are going to add it into the game. So for this, search for the buff that you create and select the check mark and select add, okay? So right now it's working, but we need to edit a little bit this to make it like working game, because what happened is that MiniWord is going to have the items inside, but it doesn't have the right UID, and probably it's going to change once you edit it, okay? So be sure that you access again and just change anything in your games. As an example, from 10 to 9, that's it, saved. And once again, the other one from 10 to 9, saved. And now you can enter to the game, and the game is going to have those specific buffs, okay? The last class, it was the class number 4. Remember that we add this score system, this class system. So in those specific like scripts that you copy from there, you're going to select the one that says class core. Remember that we have this specific line. So remember that everything it's cool, but there is a part that is going to be easy to modify. That is the one that says setup. So Everything after that, you don't need to mess with it. Of course, if you want to learn it a little bit, you can check a little bit how it works. But for now, we only need to select the one that says setup, okay? Now we are going to set up like the punish and the hour move, okay? So first one, we are going to select the punish one. You are going to see a number here, okay? So guys, just delete that number, delete the one that says punish buff and hour buff. It has some numbers in front, just delete those numbers. And once you are in front of global punish buff, you are going to hit where it says ID library. Once you are on there, you are going to have like this scroll down or this drop down menu, buff. You are going to select buff because we are adding a buff. And once you select buff, you are going to have like this interface that will allows you to select the item, okay? So if you hit the different items, you are going to have also like the different IDs for the item. It says the name, and below that it says ID, and says the number that this specific buff has. So just hit custom. So just hit on that and select insert. So when you insert, you are going to have like the number, and right after that you are going to have like a comma, and then you are going to have a number one. So remember, we are going to remove the number one and the comma, okay? So just select again in here and delete that. Now it's okay, that's the only number that needs to be there. Remove the comma and the number that comes after it. And also right here, you are going to do the same. So for global hour buff, you are going to hit ID library buff. You are going to select custom, and you are going to select our library, okay? Our student. We're going to have also the number and the comma. Remember to move the last number and the comma. And yeah, right now we can have it. So as an example, you only need to save it. Okay, so the items that we are going to do with the system that we had is just this one. As an example, if I hit the plier, as you see, the plier is going to be teleported, and it's going to be into this room. The player cannot exit from this room while this item, this specific feature, is activated. Also, you will be able to hour the players. So as an example, if I hit the player with this one, the player is going to receive an extra hour when the player actually exits from the room, okay? Or when the class time completely finished. How you're going to do that? Open the developer tools, go to triggers, guys, and we are going to add a new one, okay? This one is going to be named as a punish. Okay? Now, in punish, we are going to add an event, and the event is going to be very simple. If a player actually attacks another player, actually hit target, okay? What we are going to do is to check which item the player has in the hand, okay? Sorry, for determine the item, we are going to just hit here on condition. We are going to add player, and on here we have a one that says determine item. This one that says handled item. We are going to select it. We are going to select item type, template library. And once you are in template library, we are going to select just the item that we create for this one. Okay, remember that you can create a rule whatever item that you are going to use to punish the players. For now, I'm going to use this one as to save some time. Now, in actions, what you are going to do is to just add make the player obtain effect. So, very important, guys, here. On here, you are going to see that this part is in blue, but we need to hit one that is going to be the target. And instead of players in trigger event, we are going to select target players in trigger event. That means that is going to affect the players that is being attacked, but not to the player, okay? Alright, guys, and now we are going to select status, okay? And the status, guys, very important, and needs to be the status that we are just creating for punish. So it's going to be punished, okay? Now, remain false, and the amount of time that we are going to punish the players. So we are going to punish the players for 20 seconds, okay? And we also are going to add a text, okay? So hitting add another action. In the actions, you are going to select player, and you are going to select display text to the player. And the text is going to be very simple. Select character screen, select input, and you are going to put you had been in color red punished. And that's it, guys. Now, when we hit the players are going to know that they are being punished. We already end with the item, but now we need to add the second trigger, and it's going to be that once the player is punished, the player cannot exit from the area. Okay? This is going to be the punish room, okay? So what you need to do is to create an area for this point. You are going to select F3. On F3, you are going to select the area 1 locator. Okay, you are going to select the initial point of your area and the end point of your area. Be sure that you select all the room. And yeah, okay, let me exit from now. All right. So we are going to select this area, and also we are going to select the health, okay? It's very important. Now that we have the area, we are going to rename it. Once more, as always, you need to rename the area. All right, so now we are going to move back to triggers. So once again, select developer tools and triggers. We are going to add a new trigger. We are going to change the name to punish room. And we are going to add the next scripts. First, we are going to select player, and we are going to select the one that says player leaves an area. If the area, we are going to choose the area, is going to be the punish room. We are going to check if the player has the buff, so just hit on add. Okay. Select player. Let's see, I don't remember well if it's in this. Yes, determine player status. You are going to check this, and we are going to select the status, okay? So the status is going to be the one that we create, is punish. And if the player leaves the area and has the punish buff, we are going to teleport player, okay? So we are going to select player, we are going to select change location, and we are going to select the locations. Now we need to create a location for this one. So we need to create a new location, okay guys? So the location that you are going to place, try to place it inside the room, not around the borders, because probably the player is going to be teleported outside the room. Just select something in the middle of the room, like this area, correct? And yeah, the second is we are going to select that area, of course, to teleport the player. And the second thing is that we are going to send a message, as always, to know the player, to let the player know that the player cannot exit. So select here, add a floating text, select the character, and select input, and say, you can't not exit from this player room while you are punished. Okay, or yeah, you cannot exit from the discipline room, it's going to be enough, okay? And also remember that as this is an error message, you can have a red color. Okay. And finally, you are going to add a sound for it, so the player will know that it's making something wrong. So just hit turn on effects on location or in position. And in turn on effects on location, you are going to select the sound. Once again, at the most adequate one are going to be the ones that are under mark. Select any error effect that looks like an error, and yeah, this one is going to work for me, and just let's play. So now, of course, I don't have any punishment error, but it's just a script that we checked before, so the player, when the player tries to exit from here, is not going to be able to exit. So let me show you, okay? Oh, and we left something very important in this, and is move back and select the punish one. Something that we left here, the player is punished, but we didn't teleport the player to the punish room, so we are going to add that, okay? So when you select punish, we already have the effect, we already have the text. Now add a new one, and it's going to be to teleport the player to that area. So just like we did before, select player, select change location. We are going to select the location, and we are going to choose the location that we just create inside the room. And yeah, with this, the player is going to be teleported. So instead of hitting the players, I'm going to use this to cast on myself. So I'm going to use this, and as you see, as soon as I use the item, I got teleported to the punish room that we just set up. And if I exit, I got the message, and I cannot exit from here. Okay, as soon as this buff ends, now we'll be able to exit. So for the award system, you need to do the same. Just create a new, I forgot the name, plugin, sorry. Yes, a new item, a new plugin. And you're going to add again a misc item. This time you're going to change the name. You're going to select award player. The description is going to be give an extra reward to the best student. Okay. The icon, you can choose whatever you want. As always, I already have some items to do it here. So as an example for this one, I use like a heart item. For you actually can use whatever you want, okay? Remember that it's up to you. And just choose whatever is better for you guys, because yeah, probably you have a zombie school, some different kind of a school, so choose that, whatever you want, okay? So as an example, I'm going to choose this one, that is the heart. Attribute and skills, just keep it like it is, don't do anything on it, just be sure that you add it. So once again, select the item and be sure that it's added. Once it's added, just change anything on it. Be sure that you are going to have only one item of it. Enter to the game, and what you are going to do, guys, it's very simple. What you are going to do is just hit in edit mode. You are going to go to scripts again, and remember the trigger that we create to punish. Yeah, we are just going to copy and paste that one. Once you have it, you are going to change the name. You are going to choose award, and what we need to do is just to change some information here. So instead of using the punish item, we are going to choose the one that we just create in the condition, correct? So it's going to be the same actions, but the difference is going to say award student. The effect that you are going to obtain, remember that is going to be the effect about award. So select obtain effect right here, select award. And remain, we are going to choose false. Yeah, actually we are going to keep it like true. Or yeah, true, and we are going to keep like a lot of time, okay? As an example, 99 seconds. They are going to also change the text on here. You are going to choose, you had pin, and in color green, you're going to see by teacher, okay? So with this, the players are going to know that they had been awarded. Remove this one that says move to the location, and now when a player hits another player with the heart, is going to receive the award system, just like I showed you before in the example, okay? So, for be able to do an advanced edition of mini-words, what we need to do is to create or edit a new item, okay? This is going to work also for mobs. This is going to work for almost any prep that you are going to do. And the simple thing that you are going to do is first you are going to add a new plugin, okay? Any mob or whatever you want, okay? This time when you hit on new, you are going to hit in edit. All right, guys, remember edit. Just choose whatever you want to edit. As an example, the diamond drill. Don't do anything, just save and return. And once you have it saved and returned, you are going to add it into the map. So just hit here in add it. And you are going to see the diamond drill here, okay? This is the first part. Second part, very important that I need you to do for be able to use the advanced edition, that this is going to blow up your mind actually, if you don't know how to do it. Most of the players, the advanced players already know how to do it, but with this you will be able to actually have a better edit, okay? Be sure also that you change the mini capture for your map, because it's going to be easier to detect. So let me just hit on here and edit. I'm going to take a photo of my map, so I'm going to check the miniature here. All right. And now I'm just going to leave from mini word, okay? Now let me switch to full screen so you will be able actually to see whatever I do in my computer. So what are you going to do, or what you are going to do to access to the advanced edition, okay? So once you open any folder in your computer, also you can do this by cell phone, but it's going to be easier for computer. What you are going to do is that you need to access to a specific folder, okay? So the folder is going to be on users. So first select users. If you don't know how to open users inside Windows, what you need to do is just hit on here where it says start. You are going to use run. Just type run and it's going to have this small application here. In most of the English computers, it's going to say run. In my computer, it's saying the same, but in Spanish, it depends of your language. But remember the icon, and you are going to have this one, okay? The only thing that you need to do is to hit percentage app data percentage, and it's going to open this room, okay? So it's going to be app data roaming, all right? Another way to do it is just hitting your username, okay? So as an example, you hit on your username right here, and you are going to need to have access to hiding folders and then hit roaming. But remember, the easiest way is just hit on here on Windows, write run, literally like here, like you can see it here, okay? Let me be sure that you are seeing my screen. I just want to be sure that in the streaming, yes, you are checking my screen. Okay, so once you hit run, you are going to have this small specific feature. Just hit on there, percentage app data percentage, and once you hit that, it's going to open this screen, okay? On here, you are going to have a lot of folders, but there's one that says MiniWord, okay? MiniWord 410. You are going to open that folder, okay? Under there's going to be another folder that says data, okay? And in data, you are going to have those folders, okay? So there's one part in which actually you are going to find a part where it starts telling you some numbers here, some letters, okay? It's saying W and a number after it, okay? To let you know, this is the game files for the maps. So on here, you can edit your maps, okay? So once you are here, as an example, you can see which map is it. So it takes a little bit how to know how you can edit your maps. As an example, I know this one is mine, because if I open this small image, you are going to see here the preview of my map, and this is one of the maps that I create, okay? So what you need to do is, in those specific folders, you need to search for your map, okay? And how you are going to do that? So open wherever you have here. Okay, I know it's this, no, it's not that, this one, okay? And you are going to find this, okay? What you need to do to realize if it's your map or not is because on here, inside the folder, you are going to have a specific file that says stamps.png, and after that, you are going to have like this specific underscore. If you are not able to see that, you only need to hit on here. Just let me open the full screen. And in your carpet or in your part, you need to just hit on properties. And on there, you are going to have some options to see that, okay? Also, you need to be able to see the hidden folders. For that, you need to activate it. Just on here, hit on scene or view, and you are going to have those options. There's one that says hiding elements. So you need to activate that, and also you need to activate the one that says files extensions, okay? To be able to see this last part, okay? So by knowing which map you are opening right now, just copy, paste the one that says stamps.png, and at the end with the copy, just remove the underscore at the end, okay? Once you remove the underscore, you are going to be able to see the preview. As you see, this is another map. Actually, this is not my map. So what I do with this is I'm going to just delete the dump, and I'm going to go back and go to the next map. And that's the process to find out which one is your map, okay? So just copy, remove the underscore, and let's see. Okay, as you see, this also is not my map. Another thing that you can do is to change here the setup, so you are going to see some icons directly, so you don't have to open the preview. Okay, let's go to the next one. Just copy the one that says thumbs again, remove the underscore at the end. Now this one is also not my map. Let's continue. Okay. And probably it's going to take a while for you to find out which one is your map. That's normal. This actually is another map, so we are close. It's not the one that we create, so I'm going to change the tone right now. I'm going to say mini school Spanish, because this is going to be the map for Spanish. Oh, I did like a mesh between Spanish and English, so yeah. But it's going to be Spanish. With this, I'm going to know that this is my map. Let's move next one. Let's copy and paste. Let's remove the underscore. Hit on yes. And this also is not mine. This is not my map. I think probably this one is going to be. And I think it is this one. Yes, this one is. So remember, we take a photo for it and we set up the screen for that one. So yes, it's that one. Okay, you see that the miniature mixed match. So what we are going to do, or what I did, is change the name for it, so I will be able to recognize this map later. So it's mini school English. And what I'm going to do also is I'm going to just go ahead to the map and memorize this number, or I'm going to create a direct access. So I will be able to access from my desktop. So just hit send and send to your desktop. And when you hit send to this desktop, you will be able to see it in your desktop, okay? Let me show you right here. Okay, of course it's going to be right here, okay? So you will be able to access directly later to that map. Now, to the important part, okay? Guys, how you can edit some scripts or some mods, okay? So on this part, ignore everything, just access to the folder that says mods. Inside mods, you are going to select map default. And on here, you are going to select behavior. So when you access to behavior, you are going to have all the different icons for your map, okay? So as you see, there is one folder that says items, there is one folder that says crafting, there's one folder that says shop, there is one folder that says actor. So actor means, of course, it's going to be your moves, the ones that you can have in game. As an example, I don't know, like you can have on there. Let me switch this a little bit. So you are going to have more overview, but yeah. Actors are going to be the mobs, like as an example, the chicken, the dragon, your pliers. For the next one, you are going to have also the items here. So the items is going to have all the objects, just like the one that we create. So if you open the items bar here, you are going to see right here a list of all the items, okay? And as you see, we have all the items that we have here. As an example, you see that we have the diamond drill, and it also already has a name on here, okay guys? So what we are going to do with the diamond drill, we are going to change items that you can access, you cannot edit directly, okay? Let's do something easier. By now, you are going to just hit on here, and you are going to open it with your notepad. So when you open with your notepad, you are going to see this information for your items, okay? So remember that we create an item that was our student, All right, as you see here where it says name, that's the name of your actually plugin, okay? So also you have the description here. As you see, it says describes and you have the description. And remember that with this, actually we don't have nothing else. So this is a simple one, okay? With this, you can start experimenting and you can see your actual items. But as you see, it's going to be a little bit confusing. So you need to install a new software to have this. As you see, as the software has different colors, you are going to have more information and you are going to get a better overview or oversee for this, okay? Remember, the software, let me switch here and we are going to download the software. So the software is going to be Notepad++. It's going to be the first link. You need to install this one. Once you install it, the system is going to auto-detect which language it is. If it doesn't give you the color, just hit on here, on language, select J and say like JSON file, okay? JSON file. So on here, let me show you some cool effects, okay? So right now we have the hour item that is going to be the heart, okay? So if as an example, I choose any model from here, this information is going to change. Let me show you. Okay, well, here it's going to tell me that its information changed. And as you see, right now it's changed to another thing. Okay, so right here we have two important things, correct? Here we have the model and here we have the icon. Also we have the text, okay? So I'm going to show you how to get cool icons for your objects, okay? So you need to access to this screen. Okay, I'm going to put this one into the comments. Also remember that in the Discord channel, you are going to have this one. Okay, so remember to access to that link so you will be able to find this. This is like the AP from MiniWord, and on here you can find actually a lot of information, okay? Also, you can access to this directly from MiniWord. Let me show you where, but it's going to be more comfortable directly to edit it into the page that I sent because it's a little bit more comfortable, okay? But to access to this screen, you only need to select any script that you already have on MiniWord. Select here, right here in the green button that says Wiki. And on there, you are going to have the scene menu, okay? But just move into the screen because it's going to be higher and you can bigger and you can see better the information. Hit here where it says MiniWord ID definition and select here. You are going to have a list of all the IDs for the MiniWord. Those are going to be the numbers that you can see right here. So you see that there are some numbers here. Yeah, that is the information that you can find there. It's like a list that is going to tell you which one is which. So select item definition. And on here, you can see that we have a list of all the items. Actually, it's not going to be all the items, but you can find a lot of items, okay? So as an example, if we want to change our item icon for something that is not very common, that you cannot find very easily, we are going to copy the number here. Okay, so as you see, we have wheel on here, and the wheel has a number over it. So to change the model of the item, we are just going to copy this number. So hit copy. And on here, you see a number, right? The icon and the model. So we are going to change the icon. Remember, don't remove this start at the beginning and don't remove these exclamation marks, notation marks, sorry. Be sure that you only change the number, okay? So delete the number and paste at the number that we just create or that we just copy, okay? So hit paste. Then hit save, and we are going to just exit from the map. Okay, and now we are going to just select the plugin editor, and you're going to see some magic here. And it's that our student has a new icon, okay? Actually, as you see, it's a little bit, sometimes it has some fails. It's supposed to give a wheel, but right now you see that it's giving me a new icon that you cannot find. So as an example, I want to change this icon here. I only have those options, right? For finding out those extra options, as you see, there is an extra item, okay? And also we are going to do something cooler than that, okay? We are not going to change just only like the icon, now the model is going to be different. So as an example, when you open it, you are going to see the icon of the bullets, but in the hand you are going to have, let's choose something cool from here, an iron armor. Okay, so we are going to copy the number of the iron armor. We are going to go move back to your code, and we are going to place right here the number that we just copied. Okay, we are going to save it. We're going to close here, and we are going to open the editor again. Okay, as you see, the item doesn't change, it's the same icon, but I'm going to show you inside miniwords. If I open that one, right hit in my inventory, you are going to see that the model in my hand is going to be the actual armor. I see, so as you see, you can change like different information inside your mini-word map, okay? So once more, as you see, I have in my hand an armor, but in my inventory it's going to look like a difference. It's going to have an icon. Okay, so probably guys, the ones that already know this are going to, you just already know that information, so it's nothing special. But I know guys that the ones that didn't know how to manage this are like facing out, like finding out a new word of like possibilities, of opportunities. So I'm going to teach you, I want you to play with it, I want you to test how it works. Important things that you have to take in account, okay? So always be sure that if you have here and at the beginning of this text, you have this like square brackets or normal brackets, be sure that you have the opposite one at the end. So this one is going to open this and close this, because if you don't have that, it's going to end or damage your code. Let me show you an example. I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to save it. And if I access again to the map or I try to edit, you're going to see that the item is not going to be there because we damaged the item. Okay, so that's very sensitive. Right now, as you see, the item disappears. Don't worry, if that happens to you, just place the icon that we left before, that is this one, okay? Let me save it and let me show you that right now it's again on dark part. Just a second. Yes, you see that right now appears again, okay? That's the first thing. The second thing, guys, if you notice this, all the text, all the lines at the end are going to have a comma on it, okay? So remember, you always are going to place a comma, except, and very important, the last line that is inside this, between these square brackets. So if you see, all of those are going to have the comma, but the last one is not going to have this comma, it's going to be just completely empty, okay? So check this one, check also this one. So the previous one is going to have all the information except this one, and also on here. So remember, don't modify that, just only modify the things that is inside the square brackets and be sure that is going to have the comma. Now let me explain a little bit more. The one that says proprietary is all the features about your item, your whatever you place inside the item. This one is going to be just the information about the plugin. Don't touch this, just keep it like it is always. And this is going to be the physics actor, so don't change that, just only change it by the plugin editor. The advanced things, you can change it from here, okay? ID is the actual number that is going to have this item, so never change this. Just change the extra information, okay? And very important, sometimes to be able to find it, you need to delete this one that says original ID. Just hit it on there and save it, and you will be able to edit the things, okay? So now you know how to create new items that you can modify, okay? Now let me explain a little bit more for something else that is going to be very cool too. Okay, so now we are going to learn how to edit actual items. So as an example, when you create an item new, you are going to see that it's going to be different, but for existing items, it's going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to show you that one, okay? So remember the item that we created before, the diamond drill? All right, so with this one, you will be able to edit actually the diamond drill. Important things, guys, on this this is going to be the number. And as you see, this one looks different because this is a tool, okay? So we can change things on here. We can, as an example, create a tool that doesn't do any damage, that doesn't consume any damage. As an example, when you use it, it's going to be infinity. That doesn't need to be fixed. Whatever you want to do, just change this, okay? Also, we have the duration, so we have an infinite weapon. And let me show you. Right now, I saved that information. As you see, I only changed 2 things. And now the drill is going to have this like completely change, okay? As you see, it shows the max amount. But if I enter in the game, it's not going to expand anything because it's having like a powerful tool, okay? So let me place the diamond drill in my inventory. And sorry guys, I'm taking a little bit more of your time because I want you to explain this. I want to be sure that you are going to have all the information and all the tools to edit your game, to do an advanced edition. And hey, I see that are coming some people from the Spanish class, so welcome, and welcome to the class. Okay, where you can find the tools, actually, I forgot. Oh yeah, here is the diamond drill, okay? So as you see, let's switch to play mode. As you see, oh, okay, I forgot to put it into my inventory, so for this I will have to put it into the chest right here. Okay. As you see, if I open it, it's going to show the modifications. As you see, I can use it whatever at the time I want it, and it's not going to change anything because it doesn't take like any consumption, okay? So as you see, we are doing like advanced tools. But the most important, guys, right now you are able to modify most of the things, but you won't be able to modify some specific items, just the one that Miniworld provides you, okay? So as an example, if you cannot find an item here, all right? So guys, you see that to modify some items, to edit it, you have some limitations, right? So we are going to find out how to modify some specific items, okay? So guys, we are going to search here something that you cannot find easily. So as an example, let's choose something nice, okay? Material, this is going to be, okay, let's choose something easy. All right, so steel ball is going to be here. Okay, so I don't know, guys, but actually you have some specific items that you cannot find very easily, right? We have, as an example, the wooden axe. Yeah, all these items you can modify, okay? So as an example, the skyrocket, okay? So there is the skyrocket is not being shown here. You cannot find it, but we have the number here, right? So let me change this, okay? For the drill, you're going to, for modify a new items, you are going to take the item that you just create. Don't modify it yet, as I did. Just delete everything on it, okay? You are going to have on property just the ID. Remember that this is going to have only one line here. We are going to delete this part, the comma after that. On this, you are going to also change the file name, okay? So you are going to place modifier, and you are going to save it, okay, guys, and check it. Right now, it's just having like blank information. So what you are going to do is to copy and paste the number, okay, of the skyrocket as an example. You are going to place it here. You are going to save it, and once you save it, you're going to access here to Miniworld, okay? Remember, we only changed that. And yep, magic. Now you can edit this specific item, okay? So to modify, right now it's on there, but we don't have the file. We only need to change something and save it. Now that we save this, you're going to see that back in our folder, it's going to be again. So let me show you now. we modified, or we can modify now, the skyrocket. As you see here, sorry, in the inventory, we are going to have the skyrocket modified. And yeah, now we can change some information on it. So as an example, I can go here and I can change some attributes. So as an example, the durability, we are going to change it to 1 second and to see what happened, okay? And we're going to save and let's enter to see what happened with it. Oh, of course, I forgot that I need to place it into this to be able to use it in pliers, so. As you see, we will be able to use it. It doesn't change anything, but depending on the tool, you will have more options. Also remember that we will be able, with this, to change the name of it. So as an example, right now we are going to change the name of the skyrocket and we are going to change the icon, okay? So we are going to move back to our folder and to this one that have all the information about the skyrocket, okay? So where it says ID, we have the skyrocket, of course. We are going to change this information. Original ID, we are going to delete it. We are going to delete also this and this. And as an example, we are going to add a new icon, okay? So remember that we create before another item that has this feature, that has the icon. Well, we're going to copy that line and we're going to paste it right here. And also we are going to change the model, okay? So just copy the line that says model with the comma, remember, very important. And now we can change the model for the skyrocket. So let's see how it works. Let's move back to MiniWord. And now let's play mode. If everything goes well, you're going to see that the skyrocket icon change, also the model, but we still be able to use it. So yeah, guys, that's how you can create advanced items. That's how you can change advanced features inside the game. So if you play with the files, you will be able to do a lot of things newer. And that's how you do that, okay? So right now the class already finished, guys. I hope you have learned a lot with this class.